It's Friday when we're currently going live on here, and I just love Fridays because it means that I get to go back and look at the rest of my week and see how'd it go. So I'll ask you guys, how'd the week go? How'd the week go? Anybody want to let me know how'd the week go? Happy Friday. How'd the week go? 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, right? How'd the week go? It's good for me to know this, by the way. When you don't answer, it's really lame because then I actually don't know how you're doing, right? And so incredibly busy. 10 out of 10 this week. Awesome, Jeff. 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 5 out of 10. You got a virtual assistant for your summit. So good. Breaking and fixing it. 7 out of 10. Okay, good. Okay, so a couple 5s out of 10s, but there's a lot. So my friend, have you guys ever seen Jesse Itzler speak about things in his marriage? It's kind of neat because he says things like if it's under a 7, he doesn't worry about it. If it's a problem that's like higher than a 7, then they work through it. It kind of helps you realize how the mindset of somebody really successful thinks. It's like, just let a few things go, right? Like there's just some things that need to bleed. So today we're going to do Hot Seat Friday. The reason why I like this is you guys who are on Zoom with me, you're going to be able to raise your hand right now. You guys who are watching us on social, it's great because you know somebody always has your question, right? And sometimes people don't even know what's the question I should be asking to go the next level other than I just want to get here, right? So you guys on Zoom, can you pop up your hands really quickly? And let's start asking some questions on where's a problem happening in your business right now? And let's deal with that problem so we can get it solved, right? Or what's a vision that you want to create? And you can go to the bottom on reaction and hit the reaction. If you don't raise your hand, I'm going to cry. And the reason why I'm going to cry is because I can't even imagine being on with a coach and not asking a question. So you're welcome to book me for a $35,000 VIP day if you need that level of certainty or that level of investment, or you could ask me a question now that could create an incredible breakthrough, right? So, okay, so I'm just going to have to pick. I'm just going to put you guys all up so everybody can see you. Okay, Karen Hardy, let's go. Hi, girl, nice to see you. No mistake, she's a 1% client, and that's why she's raising her hand. Okay.
How are you guys?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Question. So, Black Friday is coming up and finalizing everything for that. What would you say would be the best way to really get that out besides like your email list? What other ways do you kind of
So there's a lot of things you guys could do. There's display ads, which by the way, if I say something you don't know what it is, you literally can go on YouTube and YouTube knows. Okay, like really realize that a lot of these things are not that complicated. You know what I'm saying? So display ads. Display ads are not expensive. They're on high traffic blogs or you can get them on high traffic blogs. And then really it comes down to, I think I said this to we had a few hundred people on the on-demand mastermind yesterday, and I was showing them Frank Kern's page. And Frank Kern does a great job at advertisement because that's kind of been his thing. Do you know what I mean? And so if I look at his profile page, so that's Frank Kern. If I look at his profile page, you can see things like that. And so you just copy them into your own word. Those are great display ads.
Okay, great.
As a case study, which you have them,
right?
So his case study says, case study, new AI bot is better than me selling my stuff. Send me a DM with the word amigo for the real-time demo. So you might just say, click the link below to grab the Black Friday offer. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And so,
yeah.
But see how this is like people it's not pretty enough. Yeah, that's why it works.
Right.
That's why it works, because it's not pretty enough. And the more prettier my team makes things, the more I tell them to ugly it. Right? So do you see how there's some similarities here?
Mm-hmm.
Is going live. So these things, he's really good at this stuff. Right?
And that's just on his page, right?
On his Instagram.
Okay.
So 3 ways to get money fast could be 3 ways to lose weight fast. 3 ways to get healthy pets. 3 ways to turn around gut health. You get what I'm saying? Like you just
Yep.
use this language and you flip it around. So I'm a big fan of not reinventing the wheel, and any phenomenal copywriter will tell you that you are better off using a swipe file than coming up with things outside your own mind, right? And you can see, if you look at his page and look below, you can see what's happening on that thread. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, okay, that thread got some attention. Okay, pretty good indication it worked.
Right. Yeah,
Right?
business
And
is business.
yeah, but he'll try things that won't work. You know what I mean? Like everybody does. He'll try things that don't work. So just look at it. That's a pretty safe bet. So that also could be used in an email as well, like that
Image.
graphic with a call to action below. Like some of my highest engaged emails or highest engaged posts have almost no copy.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. Does that help?
Absolutely. Thank you.
So you can also look at email sponsorship. So there's a lot of associations that you can pay for a section in their newsletter or pay for a solo email. A lot of them, right? And so it's no different than when I was in real estate and I knew I wasn't going to make it selling homes one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew that I wasn't going to get anywhere fast, and I didn't want to spend 7 years trying to get somewhere. And
Right.
so I went to investment groups. Well, kind of like getting associations to mail, right? It might be a $600, it might be $1,000, but if you get 200 buyers,
And we do have those. I've already been looking at those. And I
Yeah.
was kind of like, I wonder if that would be a good way or not.
send a note today. Just like discipline yourself to send a note to 5 of them. I'd be willing to bet if you send a note to 5 of them and it's just, hey, I'm just curious, do you guys do any sort of sponsored emails to your list? That's it,
Perfect.
right? They come back and if they say no, say, do you ever bring in outside speakers? That's the second question. They're going to say yes, right? And so you're good to go. And do you know that when I found real estate investment groups, I want to say, I don't remember the exact number, but I want to say that I only reached out to 5 or 6, and I landed 3, and 2 ended up being really lucrative. I just find so often we think about it so long that we just
And
waste.
too much.
Yeah, we just
We get in our head too much thinking there has to be,
Yeah,
there has
sure.
to be a bigger, better way, right?
Exactly. So good. Leveraging other people's audiences. That's super powerful. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The email's going to be a lot more lucrative than even the display ads, although display ads are great because it's warm. Anything, the warmer the message, the higher the conversion. Asma.
Yeah, hi Shanda. I'm
How are
glad
you?
to. It's a follow up of one of the question I had asked you last time. If you do have more referrals than Laura Badgett, you mentioned a dental expert for VIP upgrade ideas. I did send her a message, but she closed that. I don't know, we couldn't access. She didn't reply us back. But do you think I must try again? Or Laura Badgett was the referral you had given
I mean,
on Instagram.
did she close that agency?
No, I don't think so. But my niece helps me in the tech part, and she did send her a message, and we could not access. It's not allowed to enter. Privacy. It said private.
Just go find her on Instagram.
Find her on Instagram. Yeah, I found her on Instagram, and then we sent her a message, and then it was written there, not allowed. Not. I mean, I don't know. She didn't give us access at that time. So
Maybe her page is
the dental field.
I mean, listen, no different than I just said to Karen Hardy. Pull up good old Google and send a message to, you can see all the dentist names on their LinkedIn. Send them a message.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like just send them the same time. Hey, I'm curious if you have an interest in growing your practice. I'm not asking you to advertise.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And then try a different approach. Hey, I'm curious if you just honestly, this is why I say send 30 messages a day,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
because it's so easy to find these people, but when you're trying to get it all right, or you're trying to hold on to, like, let's say Lori, it's like you're putting too much weight on one person.
Okay, yeah, that's right. And do we need the special training on dealing with social media? Because we got locked out from what was that, LinkedIn? Something went wrong. My niece was helping me, and we got locked out.
She probably messaged too many people on the same day. So again, big fan on YouTube. YouTube, I just got locked out of LinkedIn for sending messages. You write that in, you're going to get videos, and they're going to tell you the rules, right? It's like, don't worry, you'll be reopened in 48 hours or whatever it is. Next time only do, 10 a day. Or so you guys get what I'm saying? Like, it's so funny because the platforms don't allow you to reach all your people, right? Like, it's the weirdest thing ever, even if they want you. And then they're trying to stop you from, reaching out to people because they don't want you to spam people. And then, but yet, like, you get the crazy, I don't know, but anybody else get crazy messages on social media? Because I do. I get the craziest messages on social media, right? And so I don't know the rhyme or rhythm, but I mean, I think they're trying their best. So you just got to find out what their algorithms do and just work around them.
Right. And does hiremypeople.com in future helps with the becoming easier to work with the social media platform?
So at hiremypeople.com, we have a full suite of team that can repurpose your stuff on social media. So they do some stuff where they find experts. I don't love that package at all, because it's just such a dangerous game to not just know how to do it yourself. And then train, like, if you're going to be doing this on a regular basis, I would hire somebody who's just your person, right?
Okay.
Like, obviously I own hiremypeople.com. Like, I'd love you to use them, but it doesn't make sense. Like, you want somebody that is only your person if you're going to do this, and then do it every month.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I
My
mean?
niece, so hopefully we
Yeah.
will get.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Something like that. Cool.
Always very helpful. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. You're welcome. Hey, Lisa, what's up? Choice
Hey.
Yours?
Quick question. It's so nice to be here. I just adore you. So thank you. Quick question. I have an opportunity
You're
to.
great, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
I have an opportunity to collaborate with another individual who has a massive audience of exactly my client.
Great.
So I'd love to have some thoughts from you about how to enter that conversation to get into a JV partnership with them.
Yeah. So first thing, everybody write this down. When you go to do a joint venture partnership, I'm highly going to be recommending this, especially for the next 2 years. I mean, obviously I'm big on partnerships. That's what we teach the summit models, but like really intentional, like, who are your people next year? And so a lot of people don't realize the market they lived through the last year, and they don't realize the market they're about to live through. Okay. And so, I would, number one, first ask yourself, what do you see as in it for them?
Yeah, because my audience is great for them. And so we both, our audiences are both for each other.
Okay. So that's really important that you enter the conversation about them
that way. Okay.
Yes, because they need to see the value before they open up to the partnership.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I have people constantly pitching me. They're like, I would like to do this with your community, and I can see this gap in your community, and I could do this. I'm like, you're never going to not see a gap in my community. And no, like, I don't know you. You know what I mean? Like, you guys get what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to go in and, like, I'm tracking with John Asraf, with Suzanne Evans. There's a crew of us that are going to be tracking next year together, and we're going to meet after Zone event and get the game plan down, which is really, what's everybody doing? We need to first familiarize ourselves with what's the plan. And the plan is never like, I'm going to get rich. The plan is like, okay, I'm going to sell my company here. So I want to build this app like this and make sure that we onboard people like this so that it's really highly effective. Or, I want to take this speaker's agreement or this speaker's course, and I really want to see it to go out to this new audience. It may not be my audience, right? But when you have a crew of people working together as friends, like I really feel like Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra, Debbie Ford, Ariel Ford, like all these people did such a good job when they were on their way up to
Yeah.
stay close.
Yes.
Whenever they had anything going on with any of them, you saw their promotions come out through all of their stuff. And
Right.
it's not like there was 15 of them. Do you know what I mean? It was like their small core group that was their reliability. They loved each other. They were there for each other, and I really believe that's what gave them a huge advantage in the market, because if you don't market, then we got no sales.
Yeah.
So you need people who are up to things in life and are spending the time to build the list, spending the time to build their audiences. And you need to partner with those people, because there's a lot of great people that can create a lot of great content situations. The problem is that you don't, guys, have you ever noticed? We don't have a content shortage in the world. We don't have a content shortage in the world. We have a reach, we have a marketing, we have a money. We do not have that's why when people are like, well, they're so good at what they do. Yeah, and they're not, unfortunately, not doing what it takes to build their business.
Right. And this
And
is what it takes. It takes doing JV partnerships. And this guy and I don't want to get into the story, but we bonded immediately.
Mhm.
And I had a download the other day. I know you know downloads well. And I realized, oh, everyone who loves ACIM, A Course in Miracles,
Mhm.
the book that I've studied my whole life is the foundational material for that leads people back to the Bible and the science, the law of God. Sorry, I'm talking, this is just my business, so I apologize if anybody's not there. But it leads people back. So it's like the bridge from that back to the Bible. And the
Yeah.
law of God. It's like, what if you love this, maybe you want to check out that source material.
Yeah,
Here's
I get it. I mean, A Course in Miracles, what led me back to the Bible, and I'm not a subscriber of A Course in Miracles. Do you know what I mean? But
Right.
it, and
Once you go back to the original material, it's like you're there.
yeah,
You don't need anything else.
It's I get it. So go in there. Don't start with that.
Right.
Start with, hey, I just had an aha the other day where I think we should work closer together, and then go into what you
Yeah.
see with your audience
Right.
and him.
Right.
And then it should be just kind of a couple sentences so he can see it and say, and I believe there's a reverse on this as well, where this product would be great in your audience. And if there's anything that I think is really important, is that you have someone in your court that you're really running and committed to in 2024. So let me know if you're interested in having a conversation about that.
Thank you.
And when he does, make sure that conversation isn't a week from now. It's like tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Like send that
No,
message.
the email's going today, and
Right.
the conversation is this weekend. I mean, by Monday, we should have the conversation.
Great.
If he's open to doing it over a weekend. So
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Yay! So good. So
Thank
good
you.
to
See
see
you
you.
soon.
All right. You're coming to Zone, right? She's like, of course. So good. Ian, what's up?
Hi, Shonda. I just want to say thanks. You're really inspiring me. I must admit, it's been fantastic. But I am out of my depth a bit. I'm just approaching 80 and sorting out life. But I'm a pastor. I've got running 4 successful prophetic activation schools over the last 2
Beautiful.
years, and I've got so many demands, so many priorities. And I'm not getting new people, and I'm finding it really hard to find people to delegate to.
Okay.
Your comment yesterday about finding 5 people that can commit and really sort of getting hold of them, very profound, and I'm looking for them, but it is quite challenging. But how to order my day and get focused is really
That's probably challenging. So I don't know if there's a spirit around this or what, but So when people are really busy, we're lacking intimacy. And it is, I can honestly tell you that has not gotten me for 6-7 years. And this year it really got me, but I didn't realize it got me. And you guys get what I'm saying? Can anybody follow me on that? Right? Like I didn't realize how busy I got with so many points that then what happens is you don't do anything great, right? It's like you might do it great because you're great, but it's like you still don't really hit the mark because it's just impossible to hit the mark, And so I would recommend you go back and look and write a list of all the things you're committed to. Dan Sullivan does this. I think it's a great, you can get, he's got a book on it as well. He's got these little manuscript books, but his name's Dan Sullivan, strategic coach. Anyway, he does this thing where you write out all the 40 things you do in a day. Right? And it's 40, right? Like 40 things you do in a day. Okay. If you don't have 40 things you're doing in a day, I'm telling you, you need to get some bigger goals because almost everybody does 40 things.
I could easily get 40.
Yeah. So 40 things that you do majority of every day, like it's what you're doing throughout the week, right? So you're answering emails, you're checking text messages, my text messages were 5 hours a day. I had no idea that had caught me. Do you know what I mean? You know how debilitating that is? So I just started to tell people, don't text me. Don't text me. Do you know what I mean? Because they don't realize that their text comes in and there's 7 other texts, right, in that hour. And so my husband's great. He just doesn't answer them, right? And then people get mad at him, but he literally is like, I'm not answering them, right? And so Pete Vargas doesn't do text. He only does Voxer, a friend of mine. So even as a friend, if I text Pete, it's very rare he will answer me. If I Voxer him, he will answer me, right? And so he's created a system, right? So anyway, long story short, make a list of the 40 things you do in a day. And then this is Dan Sullivan's tactic, and it's great. You do a P for what you're passionate about. Put a P next to all the things you're passionate about. An E next to all the things you're excellent at, right? And they're different. I'm excellent at networking. I am not passionate about it. I have to really use my willpower to go network because I know people laugh at this, but I actually have a shy bone that goes through me. Do you know what I mean? And so it takes a lot of effort for me. Like when I had my son, I just would hold him. So wherever I even went to my own events, I just hold my kid because it gave me a separation from people that made me feel, you know what I mean? So kind of a new fact y'all can learn about me today. So P, about what you're passionate about, E, what you're excellent at, a C on what you're competent at. So an I next to what you're incompetent at. And I really think everybody should just do this today. Okay, so, and then look at that list that you're done, put your categories together, add up how many are in each bucket, and then make a percentage, like figure out the percentage. Like what percentage do you spend in excellent and passionate? What percentage do you spend in incompetent and competent? Now, here's what's wild. The incompetent and competent, my challenge for you is either give that list to a husband, wife, friend, or somebody that works with you, and ask them at the end of the day for a meeting for 10 minutes to go over, how would you remove this off my list? Because I'm slowing down the church or the programs or the business. You're actually slowing them down if you do those things. Okay, and so money loves speed for a reason, right? And so if it's slowing it down, it means the income has to be being challenged. Right. And so that's what gets you back into intimacy, because you're like, for you to even stay committed to incompetent and competent is just massive amounts of control. And so you have, and honestly, you guys, if you thought you could get rid of incompetent, competent, maybe a few of them you might be able to go, oh, I could get rid of this. But most of it you think you need to do. And so you've stepped up to become a superhero. and at the disgrace of your greatest purpose, because you just can't make any more time. You know what I mean? And so that's the highest regret possible, right?
Yep. Well, I mean, I do spend quite a bit of time, obviously, in the presence of God to get to order my day. But I have to say, the one thing I'm competent to incompetent at is accounts, and I can't get rid of them because nobody else wants to do them either.
What do you mean accounts?
Well, I have to run the church accounts, and I have to run our personal self-employed accounts, and I can't really get anybody else to do them, and I can't, well, because the last time I got somebody to do them, they dumped them back on me a month before audit and said, I haven't been able to do anything, sorry, but this is it. And
Okay, so I've rebuilt my sales team 6 times.
Yeah.
And I've had four COOs, one that got a heart condition, the other one that ran with me for a long time, one that wasn't a great fit for my company, and then one that is awesome but new at the field, right? And so if I would have allowed, like you're allowing trauma, you know, so there's a million people who would love to do that job for you. And so maybe you're not the best person to interview somebody with that. Who in your life could interview somebody and you could do a final interview to find somebody capable of doing that?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Because you need somebody else to like place an ad, LinkedIn or something like that. Very, very easy. Go to YouTube, how to place an ad on LinkedIn. Place an ad on LinkedIn, and instead of doing a big job description, write a paragraph about who this job would be perfect for. But at the top of the job description, and then the details of the job of the things that need to be done, and let somebody else do the interviewing. And then you have the final interview. Okay, so I do that with homeschool teachers. I do that with house managers. I do that with everything in my life, accounting, everything, right? And because I will slow it down if I'm the one who's point on it, because I already have a resistance to it. You know what I mean? So I take the resistance out. So now you're going to find somebody, and then to stop yourself from getting all your books back on an audit on the last minute is, I would say, twice a month or once a month or once a week, to make you feel comfortable, you meet with that person every Thursday and you have a 20 or 30 minute meeting to go over the books. Because then you at least know that they're getting done. They're getting done the way you want them to be done, and hopefully better than you do them. And now it's a 20 or 30 minute meeting once a week versus you spending hours doing this stuff.
True. Yeah.
Because you're not ministering to people by doing accounting. And there's people who are very, very good. Do you know what I mean? That want to do it and they like it and they don't want to do what you do on the front platform. And so, you know, for you to go behind, it just makes no sense. So I am pastoring people most of the time. And then the accounts come in second, and they tend to take up our holiday time or when it comes to Christmas, and that it's not good. Yeah. So it doesn't work. And so you gotta
thanks for that. That's really
level up your leadership in this, and just don't allow the trauma of somebody not keeping their word to hurt you from going back into the relationship. That's like when people get hurt by the church, right? They get hurt by the church and then they're like, I'm never going to church again. I'm like, you're doing that with the accounting department right now. You're like, I'm going to be the accounting department because somebody hurt me. So that's it, right? So you can't do that. So hopefully that's
God bless you. Thanks very much, Shonda. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Really great.
Do it today, though. Do it today. Put the ad out today. Asma, were you good?
I'm good.
Okay, honey.
I got the answer.
Okay, great. Awesome. April, did you have a question, April? Guys, I'm going to ask you right now I'll unmute you, April. What is the best thing that's come out of this advice so far today? Ground it. Ground it. What's the best thing that's come out of this advice today? What do you know that you need to shift or work on, or actually forget work on? What are you going to complete because you heard some piece of advice? What are you going to complete? Okay. Got it? How I spend my time, 5 people to rise with, do not let drama or trauma stop me, a list of 40 things, 40 tasks, 5 people, partnership. So good. Okay. So now I'm going to get you guys to say, go ground a 10 or 15 minute meeting in your calendar right now. Go put it in your calendar to move forward that thing. Okay. So if it's partnerships like Karen, you might want to take 10, 15 minutes, do the 40 items, but then you might want to take 45 minutes or not even 45 minutes. You could allocate 20 minutes and challenge yourself. How many people can I send a quick email to that I can get a Black Friday sponsorship email out to? And just let go of attachment, because you're not any worse off if nobody says yes, right? So you just manage your emotions. Not any worse off if nobody says yes to you, you're fine. But what if somebody says yes to you today? And what if there's 3 or 4 more that say yes to you, and all of a sudden your Black Friday offer, Karen or anybody else, is in front of, a million
It's on sale.
of your people?
149. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let me just mute her. 1 million of your people, just because you did that 20-minute exercise. That's what happened to me in real estate. You know what I mean? Like, that's what happened to me in real estate. I'm telling you, God's got grace on your purpose. Are you moving or are you grinding? Okay, go for it, April.
Yes. Simple question. Hey, Shonda, by the way. I apologize if it's redundant, but I want to do the pre-recorded recordings for my experts. So if I'm doing that for 21 experts, do I still need a summit? Or I'm just doing that via email or?
Well, if you're interviewing 21 different experts, you need to have a registration page for people to come through. Otherwise, you won't collect names, phone numbers, and emails. Make sense?
Yes.
You could dumb it down big time and just do an RSVP page, which we do for our masterminds, right? We don't do a full opt-in page. We just do a page that just says this is what it is, an RSVP page. But I've never done that for an interview series. I don't know if it would work or not work, but it would certainly be easy.
Okay. And then that way just collect and then just continue to do it like that and then collect and then you'll be able to sell through the emails and things like that, right? Eventually.
Connection is currency. Like, let me ask you guys right now. So if we were to give 3 people a VIP day, how many of you guys would want that VIP day? Put VIP in the chat. If there were 3 people, if we were going to give 3 VIP days, either Jonathan, our chief marketing officer, by the way, that's how Billy had a $50,000 day and then a $100,000 week. It was through a Freedom Funnel. And he didn't actually have belief that he could sell something on a page for $3,000. He didn't have any, and Jonathan coached him through that, created it, and then it happened, right? So see that? So connection is currency. So you guys, I will open up 3 VIP days. So if 3 people want VIP days, put the number 3 if you want to be considered. And then Keith will message you right now. Put the number 3 if you want to be considered. Okay. And so I don't know if Jonathan's on or Keith or somebody, because they didn't even know.
Jonathan's here.
Okay, Jonathan, I'm going to give 3 VIP days. Obviously, it's an investment, you guys. But if you can message a couple of those people or drop nobody ever emails. That's the funny thing. Right? Like, we'll drop an email, nobody emails, talk about constantly overthinking things. So if you have a question about a VIP day or you have an interest, Jonathan will message you, or you can just go find me on Instagram right now and send me a DM that says VIP. And I'll go back and forth with you over the next hour and a half and make sure it's a good fit with you. This is Instagram.
Shanda, why don't you just give them your number and they could text you?
Oh, I don't even know our new number.
I got it. Want me to put it in the chat?
Oh, yeah, put it in. We got a new number. I got a new phone that I can actually go back and forth with you guys. There it is. See it? 619-304-5130. Don't get mad at me if it takes me a minute to get back to you. Okay, so 619-304-5130. Write that down. You can send me a text right there. Okay? And put VIP, and then I will reach back out to you. Sound good? Okay. So April, that like connection is currency, right? It is always a blessing, you guys, when you open yourself up to be more connected to someone. It is always a blessing. So email is one level of connection, right? But the reason why I say send an email 3 times in a day, the same email to the unopens, the unopens, the unopens with a new subject line, is because people aren't on email at the same time every day. And how many guys still have an email, like you have a full inbox when you go to bed? Put me, if you have a full email inbox. Okay, so everybody look at this. And nobody's allowed to tell me that Jonathan and I are too aggressive on email, because this is why. Because people go to bed with their inboxes, and so do I, right? And so I'm not going through my inbox to find Frank Kern's email or Shanda Sumter's email, unless I know to go look for it, you know, and they're not going to do that for you either. And so email, do some calls like this, you know, make yourself available, make it easy for people to get to you. And when you see a pattern that somebody needs you, whether it's VIP day or whatever, like offer it. Don't, like, people are smart. They know if they need things from you. But some of you guys are trying to sell so hard versus trying to help so hard. And there is a difference. One has no attachment on whether or not somebody gets that VIP day or not. And one has a massive attachment. Make sense? So I'm going to take, I was going to be done with Esteban on the 5th. So I will do one more day on a VIP day. And Jonathan, I don't know if you could do 1 or 2 days before the end of the year, or I'll do something in January. Okay? So send me a text. I'll get back to you and we're good to go. Does that help, April?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sweetheart. So good. Okay. Social media. We gonna say goodbye. We're gonna say goodbye. I'm sending you guys so much love. Have a great weekend. I am jetting off to Puerto Rico. So everybody send lots of happy prayers for me as we head back to Puerto Rico today. I'm very excited. And I'm sending you guys so much love. I will see you back on Monday on Shanda On Demand at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But I'll be at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, going live from our new home. All right, you guys, talk to you soon. Bye, social.